You see how you guys are set up like this really nasty crossfire here? And everybody's kind of peeking at it once. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that? That's a cool little microplay. You guys didn't do it on purpose. You don't even need to do it on purpose. Just call, like, I want to put, I'm peeking and peeking. It's not fancy at all. It's just, we peeked on different angles at the same time. But that's what we want. Like, because you can't, if you're thinking, oh, we're holding it, we're going to hold an off angle as Hanzo Widow. But when you say you hold an off angle, it doesn't mean that you stand there 100% of the time, right?
Yeah.
You have to back off in a sniper comp. You have to like peek and then recharge your shot, or then, oh no, that Widow saw me, so I have to back off. So you can hold an angle, but you can't just sit there like you could in like a brawl comp and just stand there and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. You have to actually synchronize pressure and then stop, the pressure and stop over and over. So it's all about timing those. This comp is pretty basic. The way I look at this comp is really just like timing and mechanics. There's not a whole lot to it. The nice thing is that a lot of teams don't like get the timing thing right. So if you guys are able to kind of figure that out, it definitely gives you a slight advantage in terms of how things are used. The other nice thing about this composition is it's as close to flowchart Overwatch as there is when it comes to cooldown usage. So what I mean by that is like there's not a lot of nuance to how you use your cooldown. So I'm just going to go quickly down the list. I'm going to do what I normally don't do with you guys, and I'm just going to throw some information your way. So just process it and then have any questions. So the shift is used for one of two ways. It's either used defensively, or it's used to get an HP advantage in situations when you know you don't need it. For example, if you see before they turn the corner, or like as they're turning the corner, you see like a bunch of damage being thrown your way and you're in a position where you can LOS rock, you use your shift to give yourself like a 350, 400 HP advantage so that you can peak more aggressively, right? Obviously, the other thing with shift as well is that you need to be saving it when they have flux and window, unless you're in a position where you can fully LOS. If you don't have shift as a Sigma, in flux, you can die in flux. So you need to keep that one in mind. The other thing with rock is you saving it for when their Sigma's trying to take space is like the obvious low-hanging fruit there. But you'll notice as well that as depending on like the level of Sigma that you're playing versus, getting it, rolling the dice and like using it on a Hanzo, Bap, Zen, Widow anytime that they're pushing, not generally as much Widow, is also really, really, really valuable. That was something that if you were paying attention to a lot of late season OWL last season, the higher level Kaluj space, I think it was Bernard, some of the best Sigmas in the world were generally like would fake rocks on the Sigma, but often like use it on DPS a lot of the time, just because if you can get a hit on a rock on a DPS, they're usually dead. Shield is definitely used for like rotations and stuff, but remember shield is also like your cue to be more aggressive with your damage. Like it's your opportunity to actually spam backline easier. So treat Sigma shield like a mini Winston bubble. So every time that you use your Sigma shield, like you're actually using to spam a little bit more, that needs to be like called like 3, 2, 1 pressure down. Okay, ready, peak, pressure, like that you don't have to be like that micro about it, but it does definitely help for your Zen and Hanzo and Bap especially, because they know that when you're peaking, that if you're peaking here and you're getting good spam out, unless their Sigma is shielding you, which he usually won't be, means the only thing they have to worry about peaking is the enemy Widowmaker. Because if you're peaking this here, you're going to be able to disrupt and spam backline just enough to be able to allow your team to peak a little bit safer. So you just guys need to get on the same timing with that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, it's especially important if you're turning corners. Like if you guys are like, you're here and you're like turning this corner here with Sig Shield and you're not like communicating that, you're trolling. Same thing here. Like that was like the better spam teams and Owl were super disciplined. They 3, 2, 1 shield corner. At the same time, Hanzo's and Bap try to peek, so they're not at too much of a disadvantage with shield spam. Okay, next on the list is Hanzo. So Hanzo, responsibilities, cooldowns, you tell me.
Okay, responsibilities, sonar. Use it to spot Widow to help Widow duel the other Widow for an advantage. E, I would say mainly for Sig Shield, or try to get a little cheesy bank shot.
Yeah.
On one of the DPS. Leap, use it to reposition or to dodge other shots. Or mainly just to reposition and all that. Get out if you need to, or play aggro if your Sig goes aggro.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's mostly it. The only thing I would say is Storm is generally slightly better more important for duels than it is for shield damage. Even in sniper duels, but it depends obviously on the range and like who you're going for. But usually the shields break pretty quickly regardless, so you want to make sure that you have your storm just in case. Like if you take an aggressive, for example, if you take an aggressive, like an aggressive angle or a peek, you need to have your storm arrow. That's just going to secure kills like significantly better. The other thing with storm arrow, it makes it really important in sniper duels, is obviously it doesn't restrict your movement. So if you are caught inducting all of your shots versus a sniper comp, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage because you're losing your 80/80 strafing. BAP responsibilities.
So obviously kind of, you know, pocket the Sigma.
Yep.
I shift.
Yep.
If any of us go down 1 HP, shift, get that instant HP back up.
Yep.
My passive kind of just shoot Sig Shield to break it.
Yep. What about lamp?
I mean, just save it for when we need it, mainly for Sig.
Right. But you need to know what you're using it for, right? So give me some examples.
See, I guess in this comp, can't really get walked on, but like if they're focusing a target,
Sure. You need to know ultimate status always, like always. Dragon, Flux, BAP window. The other thing that you need to be tracking is just like you track Ice Block and Brawl Mirror, you need to track your Sigma shift. Because if your Sigma obviously has shift and you lamp him, you're trolling. If your Sigma doesn't have shift and you don't lamp him, you're trolling as well. So you need to make sure that those cooldowns never, ever stack. If your Sigma gets rocked and dies, it's his fault. It's not your fault. I mean, you have the hardest, basically the most boring job. You're very limited with what you could do. You can pressure Sigma, you can pressure you heal your Sigma, and then if you get the opportunity to, whether it's a safe peak or somebody's under pressure, you can and should peak, but it's just you're limited with it. BAP sucks in this comp. Okay, Widow.
Yep.
Your responsibilities.
My responsibilities, like, would be one, trying to take the Widow duel.
Yep.
And then just trying to take an angle and pressure.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, what about your cooldowns?
Grapple, I use to just as like an escape more than anything. Venomine, I'd place it at like somewhere where a flanker would be, or on me for like if they have like tracer or something like that.
Sure. We're assuming mirror, so I'm gonna be honest with you. Venomine could not be more useless. If you have literally nothing else better to do, you can throw it like on a window where maybe Hanzo might move through, but it's horrible. It's just useless. For grapple, so this is really important. Obviously, grapple is really important, but when it comes to sniper duels, it's super underrated. You honestly need to essentially be grapple shotting almost off of cooldown in this comp, because the sightlines that you're going to be getting are very limited, and you need to be playing completely and only for winning duels. So you do not need your grapple defensively almost ever. The only thing actually you might do is you might grapple for like a really aggressive angle, like late on second or late on third. You need to be grapple shotting like as much as you possibly can. Remember, every grapple shot that you do is an opportunity to shift your position, but still know where the enemy team is positioned. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? And a lot of high-level Widow duels on this map come down to predicting enemy grapple shots and or using your own grapple shots. That's why you'll see, I don't know if you guys seen Owl a lot, like you'll hate PC defending Widows literally just scoping in the sky right here because they know the Widow's going to grapple shot. They know their Widow's going to grapple shot because it's really good. There's no other reason to use grapple here. So you need to be using your grapple almost off of cooldown to set up a different angle. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
A little more specific to this compositional mirror, but really important. Okay, Zenyatta?
Yeah, just pressure with damage, take soft angles.
Yeah.
If our Hanzo takes an aggressive angle, I can orb him. I can discord their tank or
Yep.
out of position.
Yep.
Look for 5 orbs.
Yep. I mean, the obvious answer is like, oh, shoot, shield, discord, Sigma, but like the Sigmas are going to be under a lot of pressure, like really regardless of what happens. So if you can get like a couple body shots on a Hanzo, get a discord on Widow, make their BAP have to use his shift or whatever, hit a headshot in their Zen, so he's forces to pull back, and now he can't shoot your Sigma shield. Like, it's all about risk versus reward, right? Generally, the best things to shoot are not Sigma. Unfortunately, there's not always going to be a lot of things that you can shoot other than Sigma. So you'll get stuck shooting Sigma a lot, and that's fine. Obviously, for you, Widow is a huge problem, as is Hanzo. Your head is fat, your body is fatter. So like you have to be really careful, but you do need to be kind of paying attention to like timings and shooting what you can and should shoot. So In terms of ultimates, so let's just quickly run down the list here. Flux, what's the goal with Flux?
I mean, there's quite a few things. I like to use it a lot of times, just force Sig shift and then burn Sig in the air, because I think that's kind of easiest.
Okay.
But you can also do stuff like force Trank, or
Yep.
like I like using it, splitting off their team and burning the one person in the air.
Sure, that can work. I mean, really, the goal of Sigma is to always try and pull somebody other than the enemy Sigma. With Flux, if you get the enemy Sigma, you have to make sure that he doesn't have his shift, because if he has his shift, a lot of the times they won't even need to use lamp, much less trance, because he just will not die. So you need to try and pull. If you pull Hanzo, Bap, Zen, or Widow. Actually, Zen is one of the worst targets that you can pull because he's just going to trance. But if you get Hanzo, Bap, or Widow, they should die. They should just die. One thing, little tip that you can do for Flux as well is it does help to make sure that you break his shield as well, because if he's unable to shield, it guarantees that whoever's pulled gets headshot. Otherwise, some Sigmas can counter the pull by shielding off their Bap Hanzo. And now keep in mind that if they're smart, they're going to know that. I doubt anybody at your level is going to know that, but you can just always look for a squishy. And they should always die. You can force trance and they should die, and so on. Okay. Dragon, thoughts of Dragon?
Dragon, 2 options, but the first one's more likely what I use it for. You could use Dragon to split Sig from his team, and you could just hard focus Sig. Or shoot it down a lane to secure like an easy kill or something if someone's out of position.
Yep. And the former is almost always going to be what you're going to use it for. Try and use it to push Sigma out of position so that you can set him up for a kill. Like Dragon, worst case scenario, should always guarantee 2 things. Sigma uses shift, Sigma has no shield. And then if you do that, that then opens you wide open to what? What can you do at that point? Flux, right. Or you can Bap window, or you can, and so on, right? And if they're in a position where you guys can push even a little bit, then you can do that as well. Like, even if you don't get a lot out of Dragon, if you're able to force, lamp, Sigma shift, shield, like if you're able to use the split to control space or force cooldowns, it's really, really good. Besides that, it's situational, you will get kills with it, but it's not predictable, Okay, Bap window.
If they start to take space, you can kind of make them kite back.
Right.
Use your ult, burn shield, and then go for picks.
Right, exactly. Bap window's a lot like Hanzo ult, but it's higher risk, higher reward. Like there's a real risk if you mess up Bap window, you get nothing out of it but Sigma shift and shield. But oftentimes he won't have to kite a split from his team. He'll just kite back the same direction he came, and you guys will not be able to actually do anything about forcing shift and shield, right? But if you're able to set it up really nicely, not only will you force a split, but you can also get like one shots and stuff out of that. So Bap window is actually a really important ultimate in this. The one thing you have to keep in mind is that this goes back into 2020. Don't Bap window at close range when they have Flux. Dragon's also pretty risky when they have Window's also risky when they have Dragon as well. It's pretty easy. Like you'll get shut down, you will get fluxed and then you're gonna get killed in the flux, and so on. Make sense? Okay. INFRA-SIGHT?
Usually I use it for if we're pushing or a retake, and then if the other Widow uses it, I use it same time, so then we're on the same playing field.
Yep. Nothing really crazy. I will say trying to sync it around your grapple shot is always really helpful as well. Kind of gives you an extra boost in the grapple shot, but besides that, nothing really crazy. Trance?
Okay, so I actually kind of want your opinion on this. So we have this play, and it's called the Zach Gambit. And basically, I do this like 9 out of 10 times I have Trank. I'll just sit in a corner somewhere and hard flank and try to get a pick on a squishy, and then they force Trank, and then we just brawl them. And it works like 90% of the time. Every once in a while, it doesn't work out. But do you think that's like reasonable, or is that just kind of,
I do.
It works a lot.
I think that's reasonable. I mean, it's brain dead, but yeah, it can work. If you guys set it up with Sonic and like your Sigma's in a good position to push and your Hanzo has an aggressive angle as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm down. Like Trance is, I think probably the hardest ultimate to use in this comp.
It's really hard
because either your Sigma's going to die before you trance him. If he messes up shift or lamp, he's dead anyway, right? Trancing Flux only works if just you and Sigma are pulled, right? Which is they're trying actively not to do that. And then Dragon's transable, but usually it's like we're playing in such split positions that it's really hard for you to do anything. And then there's also the fact that there's no like dive heroes, so using it for yourself isn't really feasible either. So yeah, honestly, if you guys want to like roll the dice and just go for that, I'm totally down. Is it like optimal? Probably not, but it's certainly. When I mean optimal, I mean like at the highest level. But but for at like honestly even a high level, it's probably optimal. Like I wouldn't be surprised if that actually was a good play in Owl, much less where you guys are. So yeah, I'm down, totally down.
Yeah, and then the only other thing which I don't think we communicate enough is if they do flex, like whether or not we have lamp, because I think it's very often, I mean, at levels that people will trank and lamp the same thing.
Yes.
And
yeah,
that can become an issue. So. Yeah.
A lot of it just depends. Like you always want to lamp first if you can, because it sucks losing Zen, you know, from the damage side of things, but it really depends. Okay, so any questions, guys? I know that was a glut of information shoved your way. I don't generally do that, but I think it kind of helps to set expectations. Any questions?
Not, Chief.
Okay. Hopefully, at the very least, you guys are able to pick like one tip from each of those things. And I'm not expecting you to do all those things, but like pick one tip that you guys can actually use. Because like the guys can kind of see a little bit of the problem here is like we need to try and synchronize my Sigma peaking with my Hanzo peaking whenever I possibly can. Like my Hanzo is sonicked here. So even if you guys want to be like elite level communication here, Goomba says, I'm Sonic, I can't peak. At the same time, Sigma takes that as an opportunity to kind of chill, and then we try and resynchronize our pressure. You guys kind of see what I'm saying? That's not going to land headshots for you necessarily, but it's going to help you to win the tank trade, which is going to help you land headshots, is what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I will say as well that, okay, this is what I'm talking about though. Like, this is why this is so important, right? So like, okay, whatever, tank trade right here. But look at this Hanzo, right? So we control the Hanzo, good. There's 5 orb. But you know why he's 5 orbed? Because look at what he's focusing on at the same time. Right? Like he's super distracted. That's like a mini dive. Yeah. What you guys need to do, the best thing that you guys could do in the meantime is set up micro plays, okay? Micro plays are, well, you guys give me some examples of micro plays you could do in a sniper comp. Think about one of your cooldowns and create a micro play for it.
Lamp. Big aggro angle.
Anybody?
I mean, if Sig's walking, I can just say, I'll rock Sig, and we can.
Yeah, I'm playing for a rock on Sig, okay? I'm playing for a rock on Cart. Guys, I'm gonna Sonic the Widow. If you Sonic Widow, now we shoot Cart, right? I'm Storm Arrowing backline. I'm going for a grapple. I have a good angle on Bap on the backline. Do you guys kind of see what I'm saying? Like it doesn't even, it can literally be a 5 orb is literally a micro play. It could be literally a grapple shot as a micro play, but you guys can like make it so much better by just splitting their attention at the same time, right? Just something to kind of keep in mind, because like a lot of people get confused with what to do in these comps. Like maybe even you guys felt that today, where it's like it just feels like we just sit here until somebody hits a shot, but you can give your guys direction with what you're doing by just calling little micro plays constantly, like every 20 seconds or so.
Is the main thing with calling micro plays, why that's so good, is just timing aggression?
Yes, it's timing aggression, and it's also like keeping everybody calm, for lack of a better term. Like, this is what we're doing, this is what we're trying to do, this is what we're doing, this is what we're accomplishing, right? Because the timing is very difficult, right? It isn't the same as it is with other comps. But if I as a BAP know my Widow's going for a grapple shot, and I see the Widow grapple, and I see my Widow take a shot, I know that I can also peek. You know what I'm saying? I'm more comfortable to peek and do damage to even if it's to the Sigma, right? Because I know that their Widow's distracted for that brief moment. You know, it's like which team is going to actually capitalize off at the time? Because Hanzo, Widow, Zen can't look in every direction at the same time, you know? So you need to try and like capitalize off of that in whatever way you can. So like even here, right? Microplay. Hanzo is dead. What can we call here? What should we be calling here?
I mean, I'm probably
for
saying
Sig.
Yes, just push Sig, push Sig, push Sig. So if you call that, that means that we're in a better position. Like maybe even my Hanzo here is actually focusing Sig shield instead of trying to like roll the dice on the enemy BAP, you know, because there's no reason for him not to. Now, I'm not gonna lie, you get like your teeth kicked in, bro. Like, I don't even know. Like,
I didn't see the Zen bottom left. He caught me off.
right. So you got like actually turbo stomped, but at the same time, like this could have been better executed.
I scrapped my lamp.
I mean, to be honest, yes, but you also had like 0 time to react. So it happens. Please don't feed. Please don't stagger. Please don't stagger. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. A lot of okay. Let me kind of break this down for you guys. This is another like really pretty simple fix for you guys. Is the off angles matter here, but as soon as you rotate to here, there are no off angles. Nobody holds this corner, especially if you don't have your Sigma. It's generally Sigma. We play this corner here, and then we rotate for one final fight here where we set up off angles. Zach, you're done. You're cooked. You are cooked. But like even here, we can set up like a micro play because you see they're not being very smart about it, are they? Look at their Sigma, look at their BAP, right? There's a huge disconnect with what's happening here. This Hanzo might actually die. All right. Oh no. We're so close. Like we're at a point in time now, like where we can just chill. You know, we can just chill. Like play the line, right? Like look, like who should win the shield trade right now? Us, right. There's Sigma's LOSing. He's broke the line. Hanzo, Bap, Zen, Widow don't have good LOS in our shield. We should be winning this, and we're peeking around the corner. It's unnecessary risk. Nice shot. Okay. We need to chill. We need to chill. We need to chill. We need to chill. Because, like, again, here, it comes back to micro plays, right? So, like, push, 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 right. Surely, you guys see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Because like in theory, this isn't even that bad of an idea. It's fine. It's playing to your strengths, but we're just not there yet. And then even now, it's like no BAP LOS, and now we're like this fight is like no way we even lose this, and we're fixing to lose an unlosable fight. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say there. So I mean, it's we've talked about this before, right? It's the timing, it's the timing, it's the timing, and it's finding ways to interpret that in the sniper duels. If you see an opportunity for a microplay or a peek, grapple, sonic, lunge, storm, rock push, whatever, call it. We'll set it up, we'll play around it, we'll make it work. Make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this guy's oh my oh my, what? You guys are about to get DQ'd before you even get to Arlington. Okay, so like let's establish our fight plan here. What do you guys think? Because this is obviously old economy that we've never really talked about before. Because a lot of it, okay, let me give you one life hack, okay? Before I turn it over to you. A lot of the way this works is it's not flowchart Overwatch. A lot of it depends on the part of the map that you're fighting on with what ult you want to use. Like, what ult is really OP for defenders right here? Look at the enemy backline's positioning.
Flux.
Flux, right? You flux there's nowhere for them to hide. They're dead. Goodbye, okay? What ult is really pretty mediocre in this position for defenders?
No.
Yeah. Window, Dragon especially is pretty weak, but yeah, both of those really. So then Prio is Flux, right? Now we track, they have Trance, Window. So what should the plan be right now?
To build Flux and Flux.
Whom?
The Hanzo or Sig.
Yeah.
Mainly Hanzo.
So how do we force? How do we kill Sigma if we're gonna Flux Sig?
We're gonna force his.
How do we force his shift?
Puppet damage.
Yeah, exactly. We could even call a micro play. This goes back to our micro plays where everybody, let's focus Sig, Discord Sig. I'm going to go for like a little rock push on him to see if I could just force his Sigma. Because the other thing too is just like, you know, Sigmas have that muscle memory. They see you miss a rock, they're going to shift, right? Because they think, oh, free HP, right? And then you flux them. You see that? Just a micro play. Like we could pop our INFRA-SIGHT here. That's fine. Everybody focus Sig. Force shift, we flux. He dies. Or we could try and catch Hanzo. So let's see. There's shift. We should be fluxing right now. I guess we just don't even need to. Now we've got 2 people hacking. Yikes. By the way, this is the micro play when we were calling ults, but Zach just isn't interested. Do you see this, right? How does my Widow hit the shot? Watch it. Obviously good, right? But then even from my Hanzo, right? You see how you guys are set up like this really nasty crossfire here? And everybody's kind of peeking it at once. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that? That's a cool little microplay. You guys didn't do it on purpose. You don't even need to do it on purpose. Just call like, I want to put, I'm peeking and peeking, you know? This is good. This is good. It's not fancy at all. It's just, we peeked on different angles at the same time. But that's what we want. Like, because you can't, if you're thinking, oh, we're holding it, we're going to hold an off angle as Hanzo Widow. But when you say you hold an off angle, it doesn't mean that you stand there 100% of the time, right?
Yeah.
You have to back off in a sniper comp. You have to like peek and then recharge your shot, or then, oh no, that would have saw me, so I have to back off. So you can hold an angle, but you can't just sit there like you could in like a brawl comp and just stand there and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. You have to actually synchronize pressure and then stop, the pressure and stop over and over. So it's all about timing those peaks. Okay, so we already know our win con here. So like, let's just see if we do anything else. Let's see what we do. Again, it's going to be about forcing Sigma shift or playing to another microplay. There's the BAP window. What should we be doing immediately right now if we're like playing this properly, ult wise?
Flux.
Flux. Why?
Because you could you got BAP and Sig right there.
Yeah. Anytime you see BAP window, it should be a trigger. Because you know that BAP is in a position to window, which means he's in a position to get flux. Now he might rock you. Just flux. Just flux. Yeah, they're cooked. Oh. Now, I have a prediction. Yeah, see, we didn't know flux was happening. You see it, right? You don't need to call every ultimate, but I do think flux you need to call ahead of time. Just because, remember, this is where we need to be looking at, right? And both of our snipers are not looking there until it's like already too late. Does that make sense, guys?
I'm pretty sure it did. But
so I'm trying to give you an out. I'm trying to say it's not your mechanics. Yeah, see, you weren't even peeking. You're not even peeking. It's not your fault. Just you're saying that you called the flux.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Your snipers suck then.
I'm pretty.
These guys are hacking and they're just straight up trash at the same time.
No. Watch the X VOD, bro. I swear to God, he didn't call it.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I don't know. It's recorded, so.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter. We're all losers here.
I'm gonna believe Alden.
Okay. But yeah, you see how like that should have been like a one and done, you know, instead we get like a big mess. Now, like, honestly, it's not bad because they used all their ults too, so it like
dude, this shot was actually nasty though, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, any shot that would kill you would have to be nasty, I'm sure. I mean,
yeah, that was nasty, huh?
That was nasty. You just took a strict 1v1 against a Hanzo point blank range.
Okay, it looked nastier from my point of view.
But this is what. But okay, by the way, what is wrong with the Zenyatta picking a Hanzo right here? You guys tell me.
He can shoot you. You can't shoot him.
Right. Where else does this Hanzo have to think about? Nothing. That's the problem, right? When you guys peek a Hanzo as Zen or peek a Widow as Zen, fight dirty, have an advantage, right? Have like, there's a Sigma angle, there's a Widow angle, he's maybe distracted with this, or I have a Discord. This is just a strict 1v1. So I'm not saying never peek a sniper as a Zen. You need to. You're going to peek them. But it needs to like actually be a reason behind the peek, right? That was just a strict 1v1. That's playing fair. We don't play fair in sniper duels. You never play fair. You always fight dirty.
That's boring.
Well, that's what the best players do. So suck it. I've literally watched. I always bring this up whenever we talk about sniper duels. Watching ons on Widowmaker and Gibraltar back in like 2021 or whatever, or 2020. I don't remember, 2022, whatever. the guy was like a freaking psychopath. Like you never knew where he was. You never knew where he was. He fought dirty every single time, and that was with his mechanics. That's the thing. It's like you always fight dirty. You always be under. That's why I was talking about the grapple shots, right? Like you fight dirty, always put them at a disadvantage. Now, microplay, right? Well, who's our focus right here? Sigma. Now you can actually see that this has a lot of potential because look at Shy Guy. I'm just sorry. I'm not calling you Shy Guy. What's your name again? Alden. Okay, Shy. Yeah. I'm not doing Shy. Okay. So you can see like look at your ult charge here. You see 90%. So this Sigma is gonna get his shift force if we're actually calling and communicating this. Let's see what we got. Very good. We don't hit that. There's the shift. Here comes the flux. There's we even get the lamp. There's the rock. Oh, we don't even need it. You guys are ruining this VOD review.
I love the build. No, I love the build up just to disappoint. Oh, we don't need it.
Okay, I will say this though. This is not bad. That being said, if you know that like you force shifter, it does mean that there's a little bit less of a reason to take a risk. You guys kind of see what I'm saying, right? I'm not saying don't take peeks. Like you need to have like you need to be taking angles and like. I think aggressive DPS is always better. That being said, it's like when you know that you've just like right now, this is like the Hanzo voice line coincidentally. You are already dead. The enemy Sigma, like it's over. Like they've lamped. He's used his shift. His shield is broken. Freaking Shy Guy already has basically like full shield. You know, it's over. Like this, they've lost this fight. They've lost this fight. So we don't need to go for anything crazy. We just flux the Sig and then he dies. So. Okay. Now, okay, I'm so tired of talking about Flux. Let's just pretend that we don't have Flux here, okay? And also let's pretend that Kiefer's on Widowmaker, all right? How do we win this fight? No Flux.
Flux them.
I don't know. I think it says we have Flux there, so I think we flux them.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we can let them walk up, and then we have window.
Yeah. So where would you window?
Okay, do you see where the this is gonna be
checkered line? Yeah.
Do you see the blue? Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah.
I'm messing with you. Okay, what were we gonna say?
Nah, you see like the blue line, like the blue, like you see what I'm...
Between the palm tree and the little bushes.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, the little glitchy. I knew what you're talking about. Like here. Yeah.
Yeah, you could like window more up there. So
yeah, you could.
A little bit.
Yeah, you could. Depending on the quality of rotation as well, you can also window here. Like if they're rotating like here, you window. I guarantee you it's lamp and trance. Guarantee. And then from there, it's like okay, well they're gonna flux, but we're gonna have trance by then, and then we'll have INFRA-SIGHT and so on. But you have a lamp advantage, but yeah, okay. Now considering they don't have that stuff, I hope that we're considering just a flux. Yeah, this is free. You guys suck at this video game.
I'm upset.
Put me on Widowmaker.
I couldn't see him.
But that's the problem. With how? Oh my gosh. Wait. This guy is playing
Connor. What?
Freaking Minecraft dungeons, looking through the deepest, smallest crack, and no wonder you couldn't see him.
You said play dirty. Come on.
There's not even a widow on the enemy comp anymore. Oh,
you did say play dirty. You did say play dirty. I think that's pretty dirty.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh.
You played our team dirty.
There's a difference between dirt and trash. Okay, this is.
I don't know, man. Some people say trash is dirt and dirt is trash.
Yeah, true. But I never felt dirty after a romp in the grass. I don't know about you guys. It's like okay, never mind.
Oh.
This is not gonna work. Yeah, see, like okay.
I don't know. Widow got a new ability.
What ability? Oh, Sojourn. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a little slow.
It's okay, you're sick. You have an excuse.
Yeah, true. I mean, this is okay. Like in terms of timing here, like you look at like this and then this. No, this looks okay. I just think if anything here, maybe we can be a little bit braver. I mean, by braver I mean everybody but Waluigi, but Waluigi. Yeah. How do you even pronounce that? Waluigi?
Waluigi from Mario?
I know!
It's Waluigi, bro.
I've never heard it pronounced. I don't know how.
It's Waluigi.
Oh
You should
my
die.
God.
I want to actually find out what happens here. I don't want to just like, you know, joke around. What happened here?
I'm pretty sure I pressed shift.
So Hanzo kind of feeds in terms of aggression. You just need to rotate back this way if you could, not across out in the open here like an idiot. That would be helpful. Then they press the BAP window, but most of the team is not even there, so that's helpful. We mirror BAP window. He misses rock. He just feeds. Their Widow, I mean, yeah, I don't know. He fluxes, and then yeah, they just really trash timing, just garbage timing. Like you guys are actually down one, but they were actually down 3 for like the vast majority of that fight. Like their Hanzo Zen are not even there, and by the time they get there, they get hit. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so nothing you guys did. Sombra, all right. Winston, Kirikov, surely this will work. Yeah, I don't really care about this, to be honest. I don't think you guys are likely to see this again. Any questions so far?
No.
No.
Okay, so what are the main takeaways, like the actionable stuff that you guys can actually execute within like a few days without having to like practice it a lot? What are the main
Micro
takeaways?
plays.
Micro plays.
Calling out what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. I think micro plays is just the big one, and then just having a little bit of guidance about, you know, don't BAP window into flux at point blank range. If you're using your flux and you can only get Sigma, try to force a shift ahead of time. Just little things like that, probably a big return on investment.